An icon reborn, a new defender.
First for news
and more.
Darren Fletcher, we've reached the playoff stage in Rugby League Super League with the grand final at Old Trafford now just 3 weeks away. It's the qualifying final. Our coverage has just started over on Sports Extra and kick-off is at 7:45.
This is BBC 5 Live.
So we'll have a chat with Kevin Nolan, who's alongside me in the studio, and get the team news ahead of Southampton against Bournemouth. That's after the BBC News with Liam Smedley.
Schoolchildren tests around the world in which millions of people have taken part. The Swedish teenager and activist Greta Thunberg inspired the action ahead of a UN summit on Monday.
It's that time of season now where speculation about managerial moves will just become intense, particularly amongst the top six clubs. There's speculation around the situation at Tottenham that's been, in the offing for some time, meaning that the manager is probably not going to get the kind of level of spending he'd like to see to move.
Michael, good morning.
Morning, Michael.
Good morning, guys.
I can't believe the season over, Michael. They just fly.
And you're looking at playoffs, you're looking at finals, and then it's summertime again.
Yeah. So, crikey, so much to get through here. Salah, magnificent.
Well, I don't think anyone has been able to. I think hats off to him. He has been incredible. He deserves all the credit he's getting. Golden boot, big final, and credit to everyone at Liverpool because they have been magnificent.
Yeah.
Well, everyone jumps on is say, can he do it again next season? Already, he hasn't even finished this season off with the Champions League, and he's playing in the World Cup for Egypt. Do you think he could?
Yes. That was when Harry Kane first broke onto the scene. Could he do it? Yes, he's done it season after season after season, and that's what's putting them on world class.
fact, I think the last touch might have been from Wilfred Ndidi. It was an awful mess by Paulo Gazzaniga. He could not hold the initial shot. In came Perez. He fell over as he took the shot. The ball bounced. Perez. He fell over as he took the shot. The ball bounced along the line. And I think it is Wilfred Ndidi certainly getting the applause. Teammates who smashed it into the net, no matter who scored it for Leicester. The most important thing is that at the King Power, with 16 minutes gone, it's Leicester 1, Tottenham 0.
Well, we'll have to look at VAR for this, to be honest.
Was
because
Perez offside? I think he might have been.
Yeah. I mean, it's over the line anyway. I think Perez bundles it, rolls it over the line before Ndidi puts it in. But it falls.
The messiest goal you will ever see. But see whether it actually will be a goal. It looks to me as if Perez is offside as the shot comes in from Tielemans, and the referee says no goal.
Yeah.
Well, Leicester thought they'd gone in front, but correctly, it's a bootlace or a hair's breadth. He was clearly offside. It wasn't picked up by the official, but that's where VAR works well.
It does.
It was a clear advantage from an offside position, and the goal had to be chalked out and has been.
I mean, Brendan Rodgers can't really say much, can he, to the fourth official there? In the olden days, you could argue it until you're blue in the face. Now,
yes, you've got to be careful, haven't you? Yellow card.
Yeah, but I guess Gazzaniga will be disappointed to even palm that out. If I was Leicester, I'd be taking a few more pot shots.
Yeah, Gazzaniga didn't cover himself with glory. Here's Spurs. Son Heung-min. Aurier on the overlap. It's another not very good cross from him. It's cut out easily by Maddison, who does well. Ooh, goodness me. Well, reckless challenge. The ball was won. Leicester are furious. The Leicester fans, was it Sissoko who went flying in? Somebody did. Those where the feet were off the ground. I think Paul Tierney's going to give...
Sure, there in the olden days, you could...
Aseka Williams and William from Ghana. I really love your show. Thank you very much.
Got the shot off on the edge of the box and hit it over the bar, but I'd have rather had the free kick, I feel.
Well, it's been a hugely entertaining opening 20 minutes, including a goal ruled out by VAR correctly. Michael Powell listening to your great commentary via, is it Class? Lucky you. Good game so far.
Oh, lovely
Maddison,
there from Leicester.
Effects, thankfully, from that challenge by Sissoko that did earn the game's first yellow card. Here's Harry Winks for Tottenham Hotspur. It's been terrific stuff so far, as it often is between these two sides who very often serve up a treat. Leicester have only won one of their last 6 home games against Tottenham. He didn't cover himself with any glory at all. They feel should be made.
Rose, which actually took him a bit too close to Evans. He's down the left, he works his way into the box, he checks inside. Evans dangles a leg, Rose goes down. I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty.
No VAR for that one.
And then following up then, Evans, I think, I know his temper because I played with him at Sunderland. He was obviously then committed a foul just outside the box to the left hand side. This is in a good area here.
This is soothed for neutrals. I'm listening from Lagos, Nigeria, on Lagos Talks, and Evans Chelseason listening to you on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Tima, Ghana, with FIFA 19. Good job, you guys. It's a lovely afternoon in Leicester as well, in the West Midlands of England. And with the free kick headed away by Soyuncu. Back in it comes towards Alderweireld it was, who was still up there from the free kick. The header was harmless in the end, but it's this.
Oh, what skill from
beautiful skill, to drag the ball infield. Here's Winks. Winks turning on halfway and finding Lamela. Tottenham having more of the ball at the moment. We're midway through the first half. It's whizzed past the opening 22 and a half minutes of this one, and that's a good ball in towards Harry Kane. He can't quite get to the pace of it though, and it rolls behind for a goal kick, and a rare moment of respite in what's been a real frantic opening. We're looking at the incident again where the goal was disallowed. Picture of a few young Leicester fans with their arms outstretched asking why oh why the goal was disallowed, but we've seen a still of it, and when they see it they will know why it was disallowed. Leicester, of course, looking to, if not emulate, but certainly had just over 3 years ago under Claudio Ranieri. There are a few survivors still in the team, Vardy and Schmeichel among them. Wes Morgan is on the bench. Christian Fuchs is still at the club as well from that title-winning campaign, and Mark Albrighton. Gazaniga hoists the ball up towards Harry Kane. Sawyer first, it drops for Ndidi, who thought he'd got his second goal of the season. Ben Chilwell rolls, or rather spreads it across towards Jose Perez, who's beaten in the air. The ball goes back to Gaz. Arsenal United player is prone on the deck at the moment after that challenge from Danny Rose.
He just gets the
put
elbow.
his arm down into his face and chest, hasn't he?
That is a no doubt. I mean, it wasn't deliberate from Danny Rose. He jumps up, uses his arms for leverage, and Perez is behind him, but he does catch him with the elbow right in the face. I've had that a few times.
Yeah, I can imagine. Perez to score for Leicester City following his £30 million move from Newcastle, where he scored 5 in his last 6 games. Not yet on target under Brendan Rodgers, but was involved in that incident where the VAR chalked the goal off. He's having a smile there with Paul Tierney, which is always a good sign. He's got up and he's okay. 20 minutes to go to half time of what's been a really, really excellent contest so far. Tottenham bidding to win away from home in the Premier League for the first time in 9 games. They've only drawn 2 and lost 6 of the previous 8. They finished the end of last season dreadfully at away grounds. Here's Aurier clipping the ball in, headed away by Ricardo. Again, Ricardo leaves it for Kasper Schmeichel, who immediately is trying to ping the ball forward. He's very, very good at that, Kasper Schmeichel, isn't he?
He's done that a few times,
yes,
isn't he?
He's found Tielemans, who finds Perez, and Perez has just given the ball away really cheaply there. And here's Lamela trying to outwit Ndidi, who's having a good game in the middle of the park for Leicester, isn't he? He's winning more challenges than he's losing. Here's Harvey Barnes, left-hand side for the Foxes, looking to past him. Harvey Barnes, the cross is too close.
They're far too close to Gazaniga.
He's awaiting the birth of a child. And he's rightly at home with his wife.
His child? I'll just...
His.
Yeah, let's hope so to miss again.
He's awaiting the birth of his child. I'm not sure how many children he's already got, or whether it's his first or not, to be honest. But and Madame Loris. Here's Ndidi. The ball hasn't gone out of play yet, and then Serge Aurier pushes Ndidi off the side of the field and flat on his face.
Well, there's kind of no need to make that foul there. There's been a few, I guess, needless fouls so far. You know, the
first lull, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and the tempo's been terrific. So I think those fouls have contributed to that. Yeah. Just a few niggly ones.
First time the crowd have been sort of muted a little bit by the lack of action, but at the moment the ball's back in play with Leicester from the free kick towards Vardy, beaten in the air by Vertonghen. Nicely done by Ndombele, but he's lost it out to Perez. Here's Jose Perez, finds Vardy. Vardy tries to clip it in towards Perez. Ball comes off him and goes behind. That's another neatly worked piece of play by Leicester City down the left-hand side.
Yeah, they're just getting the other side of Harry Winks at the minute. Lovely little step over from Perez, bought a yard, who then in turn fed back to Perez into Vardy, just pulled off the centre half and scuffed shot really, which is a shame, but it's another good move.
Yeah, he made 195 appearances for Newcastle, Jose Perez. I was surprised at how many it was. I thought it was more recent. That just goes to show how time flies.
Well, he certainly scored in patches up there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Rafa? I think Rafa got a lot out of him. Challenge for Brendan Rodgers is, can he do the same?
Yeah, he got 48. Son, who's in form, trying to find Kane. Kane stumbles into the box and somehow from on the deck manages to swing his boot to scoop the ball into the net. It's a peculiar goal for Harry Kane, but Son Heung-min set it up. Kane burst into the box. He looked as if he'd lost his footing. He fell onto the ground, but he still had the presence of mind to knock the ball in with a trailing leg. And with 29 minutes gone, it's Leicester's.
It's off with Lamela. Lamela, lovely ball into Son, he makes a terrific run, and the presence of mind, he's running on the diagonal, he knows Harry Kane's running in behind him, does a little flick, Soyuncu then pushes Kane, he's almost falling over in the box, he does fall over, as he lands, he boots the ball into the ground, almost on top of Schmeichel, and it just bounces over his leg. Fantastic footwork there, just to make sure he got on the end of it.
Well, that's a sign of a striker, isn't it? Someone set that the chance has gone.
Absolutely. You know, knee, shin, toe, whatever it may be, you make sure you get that shot off, and that's what he done there. But the move, the pass from Lamela, the run from Son, the awareness just to flick it in behind him for the run of Kane, tremendous. Super football.
Harry Kane now has 9 goals in 9 games for club and country. He's got that hat-trick for England recently. It's his 12th goal in 9 Premier League appearances at Leicester City, for whom he's twice scored hat-tricks. He got 4 in one game against them. And he's done it again. Spurs could be heading for second place in the Premier League behind Liverpool. A game against Watford, which is our feature game at 3 o'clock. Here comes Eric Lamela. Tottenham looking to double up quickly. It's Kane again. Shoots again. And this time it's wide.
Again on the turnover, there's a constructive move. Lamela again finds Kane. He pulled out wide, this time on the right-hand side of the box. Sets himself with one touch just inside the box. Tries to lace it across goal, but just drags it wide.
So Tottenham have the lead. They have a very, very good record. Visits here in the Premier League. And after a couple of before gone ahead and ceded the advantage, they'll be looking to wrap it up here if they can. Still a long, long way to go though. We've got 14 minutes left of the first half plus stoppage time. And they will be. Goals conceded just before the interval have cost them in recent weeks, both against Arsenal and against Olympiacos more recently. Here's Ben Chilwell for Leicester City. Nice interception for Spurs, who winks to Sissoko. Good tackle by Ndidi. Ndidi suddenly drives forward. There's a Tottenham player still on the deck. I think it's Harry Winks, but play continues with Jamie Vardy for Leicester City. Vardy and Kane both have great records, today's opponents. Vardy has scored 4 in his last 3 for Leicester City against Spurs, and of course last season famously came off the bench, didn't he, and missed a penalty and then scored in a 3-1 different Hotspur. I think that was at Wembley.
Well, Sissoko, he's got to be careful. He got booked earlier for going to ground. He went to ground again in around his own box. That time he went to ground and just caught Maddison on the follow-through, rolled around on the floor, but he just has to be careful. He's already got box, touched by
Tielemans. It'll come out here to Ricardo, who can hit them, as we've seen most famously against Manchester City on Boxing Day when he scored a screamer. That one wide of the post in the end, but he's not afraid to have a pot shot when the mood takes him. Here's Lamela for Spurs. Kane down the middle, outpaced by his England teammate Chilwell, who gets the ball back to Kasper Schmeichel.
He just got around on the cover really well there, Chilwell, didn't he? Because that gap in between Soyuncu was big. Closed it up very well.
And Ndombele finding Danny Rose. Ndombele again neatly found by Rose, and then scooping it forward towards Kane. Again, it's asking too much of the Tottenham centre forward. Well, that's almost a mistake by Chilwell, but he's got away with it. Slid in to get the ball away from Aurier, having almost lost it the first time around. Leicester City have only lost 2 of their last 10 games in all competitions. Second of which, of course, was last weekend against Manchester United. They won't want to lose further ground here. Teams who maybe, just maybe, might be able to break the dominance of the Big Six, of whom Tottenham hold membership. The Champions League runners-up from last season. We're just looking at a replay of Kane's finish. Die on the ball as he's fallen, and he's managed, even with it bouncing and bobbling, to exert enough control with his right foot to bang it up and over Schmeichel. It looks a mess, but actually that's an incredible...
And the touch as well, he dragged it past Soyuncu with his right and then came into contact with Johnny Evans, and he took it away from him with his left as he was falling. and then just as you say, knocked it into the net as he was going to ground.
It's all about presence of mind. Southgate looking on will have approved of that. I don't think he's here to watch Harry Kane. I think he knows enough about him. Kane has now taken his international goal tally to 26, which puts him level with the likes of Brian Robson, just one behind David Platt, and the all-time England score is only 4 behind Alan Shearer.
Yeah. Oh, he'll have a chance of breaking the record, won't he?
Yeah, Rooney, of course, is the record holder. Break here for an injury stoppage. We've got 10 minutes to go to half-time. It's Ben Chilwell who's just walking a little bit gingerly off the field. That's not something Gareth Southgate wants to see. We've got another international break, of course, coming up in October, and Ben Chilwell is potentially to make the left-back position his own for England. I think he's going to be okay on this occasion. Leicester have had 7 attempts on goal to Tottenham's 4. They've also had more expert, thanks to the man on the ball here, Harry Kane. And that's good play by Aurier. Finally needs a decent cross from him. He tries to go around Soyuncu, bounces up off the Turkish international and goes for a corner kick to Tottenham Hotspur. It's the first corner of the game, actually, this one. It's coming the 36th minute. Kane will be an obvious target. Alderweireld is going up as well. Lamela with a swirler, but too close to Kasper Schmeichel. Seriksen Jr. says Harry Kane is just a hybrid of a striker. He's a combination of the olden day and modern day strikers, just a hitman. I think that's a fair point. You can call him an old-fashioned striker, but if you said that, you'd be being complimentary. But of course, he's more than that.
Oh, absolutely. Look, he can do everything up there by himself. That's why he can just play with the lone front man.
Here's Perez. He's gone tumbling down. He wants a free kick and he's not going to get one. But he's managed to get it around Danny Rose. He still has it, Perez. He finds Tielemans. Tielemans to Ricardo. This is promising for Leicester. Brilliant block by Danny Rose. Tielemans tried to thump the ball low and hard across the 6-yard box, and Rose threw himself at it. It's a throw to Leicester, quickly taken. Ricardo to Tielemans, beautifully taken under control by him, and nodded away firmly by Vertonghen. Back in it comes from Leicester, but Tottenham get it away back towards the halfway line. This is Soyuncu. Gave away the penalty with that foul on Marcus Rashford, and Rashford commendably cool from the spot a week ago. Leicester's first league for the season. Here's Evans finding Ndidi, and across it goes to Chilwell, who's now okay after that little spell of treatment. Harvey Barnes has it left hand side, finds James Maddison. Maddison lets fly. Soyuncu again though for Leicester, who are pressurising for an equaliser before half time. This is Barnes, now Maddison out to Chilwell. 3 of the youngsters combining nicely there. Involved again, the Portuguese fullback. Tielemans once more. Perez wants to shoot, does shoot, and Gazaniga makes a decent save at his near post and double fists it away behind for a corner.
Well, it's a good spell of pressure there from Leicester. They work the ball eventually to the edge of the box. Tielemans finds Perez out wide on this right. He aims for the near post, but to be honest, he's got to go across goal there. Gazaniga doesn't hold it again though, packs it out for a corner.
The Leicester City set piece opportunity. James Maddison will deliver. This time it's from the right hand side, so from a right footed player it's going to be an out swinging corner from former Norwich midfielder. Taking a while to get his bearings. In it comes eventually. It's very deep. It's towards Johnny Evans, and after all that the referee Paul Tierney has spotted an infringement in the box, and Tottenham have kick.
I think it's Soyuncu here. He's pulled up maybe for a possible foul on Jan Vertonghen. Maybe a little block. I didn't see too much in there though.
Weirdo says, I like what you guys are doing. Keep on keeping on. Nice one. Reporting from Port Harcourt City, Nigeria. So maybe we'd have to be a weirdo to think of what we're doing is nice. Although Alison Okeke agrees. So many of our listeners in Nigeria. Great to have you all with us. Ball scooped forward towards Alderweireld, and then Aurier with an overhead kick to clear. Tielemans slices it up in the air. Ball drops for Lamela, who does well to sort his feet out and find Sissoko. It's now come across to Danny Rose with a bit of space potentially for Tottenham Hotspur down the line. Leicester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Can Spurs double it before half-time? It's Lamela. It's a chance for Kane again, who didn't really get enough power in his left foot shot. He can shoot comfortably off either foot, Harry Kane. Chose the left on that occasion and hit it straight at Kasper Schmeichel, who really didn't have to make much of an effort to save it.
No, he'll be disappointed with that, Harry Kane. Another really good move. It looks like they're playing this diamond formation with Lamela just behind the front two. Ndombele on the left, Harry Winks sitting, and then Sissoko out on the right side. And actually Lamela's done really well. He keeps finding Kane with lovely little passes. He's in the pocket just off the front. He just got fouled there by Ndidi. So good game so far, Lamela.
Yeah, just inside the Leicester City half. Lamela just set up in the air by Ndidi. Is it me, or is Lamela bulked up a little more muscular than he did on previous occasions? Certainly last season, maybe not. Danny Rose is comfort around his abdomen or midriff. He's just holding his stomach and had a word with the referee there. Tottenham have lost the ball. Maddison flicks it forward, nicely laid off by Vardy to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes' goal against Sheffield United earlier in the season, where he hit the ball as crisply as you'll see it hit all season. Hasn't managed to make much of that though, but Tottenham have given the ball away on the far side. It's gone out for a throw off Lamela. Leicester having done exactly the same thing, have allowed the ball to go straight out of play. Tielemans shakes his head, the young Belgian, scored earlier in the season. Was on loan last campaign and impressed sufficiently to earn the move. Rodgers is wearing a dark suit out on the edge of his technical area. Maurizio Pochettino, more casually attired in a mauve Tottenham polo top, is sitting back down. 250 league appearances in England as a manager for Pochettino, and he's hoping to celebrate it with a win. At the moment that's going according to plan. Leicester have 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time in the first half to try and sort it out. Here's Tielemans again trying to squeeze it through. It's blocked comfortably by Sissoko. Tielemans leaves the throw in and taken instead by Ben Chilwell. Plenty of bodies back to try and prevent what has been a problem for them, i.e. allowing opposition teams to score just before half-time. Against Arsenal, we saw it too against Olympiacos in midweek. Very happy if I can get to half-time. Still a goal to the good. It's already drawn as many games do. Chance here to take all 3 points. As I said, all of their away games so far have finished 2-2 this season in all competitions. Here's Tielemans for Leicester, just scoops it away across towards Maddison. Maddison finds Ricardo. Ricardo's measured cross just flicked away by the head of Vertonghen. Aurier can't prevent it from going out of play, so it's going to be a corner kick for Tottenham Hotspur to defend in the final minute of the 45. I mentioned their fragility at this time in games. Is there a reason for that? Is it concentration?
It could be, possibly. Another good ball in the box, so there from Leicester. They can have a similar delivery to last time. They just need to keep the ball alive. Don't let it go out. Let someone get a first contact on it. They've got a good height. Look, indeed is.
It's Maddison to swing it in with his right foot, possibly the last chance of the half. It's knocked in dangerously towards Jose Perez. It's a brilliant header by Danny Rose, who's hurt himself in doing so, but if he was eyeing an opportunity to head Leicester level, but before he could, Rose flew in and made an excellent challenge.
Great clearing header. Wonderful ball from Matt. Couldn't come for it. Right to the far post. It looked like Perez, as you said, was about to knock it in, and then Danny Rose came flying across. Brilliant header.
Opposite flank, the corner this time. Outswinger from Maddison. In fact, he's cut it right. Ndidi, who tries to chip it into the box. It's headed away by Aurier in the clearance will be completed by Sissoko, who finds Harry Winks. Winks trying to tease it up in the air towards Son Heung-min. Schmeichel's going to go quickly because time is of the essence for Leicester City. Here's Yuri Tillemans finding Wilfred Ndidi. Ndidi's got support here from Ricardo. Madison loses it in centre midfield. Tottenham have a free kick. Eriksson Jr. says, listening attentively in a cloudy day in Accra, Ghana, and rooting for a draw. I'm glad you're listening attentively. I like that. We've got first half, few injuries here and there, and of course the VAR stoppage which led to that disallowed goal for Leicester City, which was a good decision. There's no issue with VAR there whatsoever. Here's Jan Vertonghen. Tottenham are happy to just slow it down with the clock ticking towards the moment when Paul Tierney will blow his whistle, but it's come forward here to an offside Serge Aurier. So the first half, which has been really, really good, has petered out a little in the last 3 or 4 minutes since those two corners that Leicester had in quick succession. Schmeichel is gesticulating all black as he plants his right foot into the ball and hoists it up towards the edge of the penalty area, where it hits Danny Rose on the thigh and goes out of play midway inside the Tottenham Hotspur half. Ricardo takes the thrust, spins away from Tanguy Ndombele.
They need to get this in the box soon.
They do. Chilwell to Soyuncu, and now Ndidi, and Tottenham have got them going backwards at the Heung-min, who's chasing everyone at the moment. It is forward by Leicester, but it's headed down by Alderweireld, and a free kick is the result for a foul on Serge Aurier.
Well, a waste there, Leicester. They actually worked it into the Tottenham final third. Eventually, though, took too long, worked it almost back to in their own half, and the opportunity was missed. Now giving away a foul, that will probably be the end of the half soon.
Expect to hear Paul Tierney's whistle pretty soon after this free kick. It's hit by Vertonghen. Might just be one last chance for Spurs, or it won't be, because the free kick's a very poor one. It's gone straight through to Kasper Schmeichel, centre half, Johnny Evans. And the whistle does blow. Splendid half, and a single goal scored, as he so often does against Leicester City, by Tottenham's Harry Winks. Managed to get the ball in with his outstretched foot. Leicester had earlier seen a goal correctly disallowed by VAR. Entertaining stuff at the King Power Stadium, where at half time Tottenham Hotspur 1. You're listening to Premier League Live.
As we look down from the cradle of our hot air balloon, we wonder as it majestically earthbound towards the Waterloo.
And Jason Cundy on TalkSport.
Saloon of sporting prowess.
Come and Navajo if you think you're hard enough.
They'll be rustling up tomorrow's back pages as they send you crashing headfirst along the bar of sport.
It's the good, the bad, and the Cundy.
Get off your horse and drink your milk.
On the Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on TalkSport.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, Monday morning from 6 o'clock on TalkSport. The cornerstone of any nutritious sports breakfast.
A morning delivery of big names and essential game talk, discreetly wrapped and violently lobbed over the fence onto your radio. The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast.
100% pure Scotch beef.
Morning from 6 on Talk Sport.
Driving home with Darren Goff and Doug, a sporting legend and an angry sports journalist who'll pick a fight with anyone.
Just really winds me up. Absolutely unbelievable.
To say I'm angry is
What an absolute clown.
Dynamic, double strength drive time radio.
Shall I stay? I don't like listening to him. I'll turn off.
Do you want me to stay? Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
He's an idiot.
Right, hands up, who wants me to stay? Drive time Talk Sport.
Welcome back. Half time at the King Power and a really entertaining 45 minutes between Leicester and Spurs. Here's Harry Kane on his way. He scored 11 in 8 against Leicester and he lets fly from distance and it was hit powerfully off the right boot. Barnes to Maddison. Maddison quick feed inside. This is brilliant. But Gazzaniga managed to cover his near post. As far as Tielemans who shoots. Oh, it's spilled by Gazzaniga. And Jose Perez has he scrambled it in. He has somehow. In fact, I think the last touch might have been from Wilfred Ndidi. It was an awful mess by Paulo Gazzaniga. He could not hold the initial shot. In came Perez. He fell over as he took the shot. The ball bounced along the line. And I think it is Wilfred Ndidi certainly getting the applause of his teammates who smashed it into the net. Looks to me as if Perez is offside as the shot comes in from Tielemans. And the referee says no goal. That's a lovely ball by Spurs. In towards Son, who's in form, trying to find Kane. Kane stumbles into the box and somehow from on the deck manages to swing his boot to scoop the ball into the net. Tielemans once more. Perez wants to shoot, does shoot. And Gazzaniga makes a decent save at his near post and double fists it away. Well, it's a really entertaining 45 minutes. Harry Kane's cleverly improvised goal, virtually with his chin on the grass, swinging his boot and scooping the ball into the back of the net. Two teams. It's been a more switched-on performance from Tottenham than what we saw in the Champions League in midweek, certainly.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's akin to the Palace one, isn't it? You know, they're at it, especially when the ball goes up to the front. I mean, that diamond formation. I wonder, right, okay, he's got three destroyers in there, basically. Winks, Ndombele and Sissoko. So how are they going to play? Well, it looks like Winks is that sitting, that holding one, the deepest one, the one at the base of the diamond. He can get them moving. Looks like Ndombele's operating to get in and out. And Lamela, who's been a real handful just playing by, especially that quick feet in and around.
And could go second at the moment. Tottenham Hotspur, were they to cling on to this win, would have 11 points. They'd be one ahead of Manchester City, ahead of City's game against Watford. We'll be featuring that in just a moment. But I would say it's a tough call.
It is tough. It's going to be tight. I mean, I think Tottenham could have made a little bit more of their opportunities. They've had a few strikes, some of them, but on the break, obviously Leicester, they've got Vardy, they've got the likes of Maddison, they've got to Gazzaniga. Looks a little bit suspect in goal. He hasn't held much. Yeah. Every cross that's come in, he's more or less patted beamed. His shots have been parried. He hasn't held them firmly. I know the goal from Perez was disallowed, but still Gazzaniga should be holding that. And he obviously spilled the one from Perez too when he shot from the angle. So I don't know, if I was them half time, I'm sure Rodgers would be saying, look, just get your shots away at Gazzaniga, test him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, coming up, we've got plenty more action for you as ever, of course. Don't forget, at 5:30 this evening, we're at St James's Park. Champions Manchester City are back in action. They'll be interesting to see what the outcome of this match is, whether they will be in second or indeed third position by the time they kick off. And Lawrence will be bringing you coverage of that one. Let's get the thoughts of Pep Guardiola, because of course one of the big stories of the season came at Carrow Road last weekend when Norwich stunned everybody by beating Manchester City by 3 goals in that performance.
I saw many good things in Norwich, and I saw many good things in Shakhtar. In one game was enough, another one it was not enough. And I said, congratulations Norwich, learn from that and see what happened in the future. But we are not going to win every game all the time. We are going to win all the titles. No one can do it. Manchester City neither. So, of course we tried. I don't know what happened the last 10, 15 minutes, the chances we had, on how we create when 10 players behind, So, but it sometimes is tough. So the first time they pass the corner, concede a goal. The second half, they concede a goal. When we are 11, make a mistake and we concede the third goal. So for the players, the last game of the season against Norwich here, we can think about it, and if we beat them, a little revenge to win the Premier.
Pep Guardiola's thoughts ahead of that one. Manchester City against Watford, kicking off in about an hour and a half's time. That Norwich result has foxed everyone, really, because clear with the game in hand.
Absolutely, and they can't afford for that gap to get any bigger. I listened to his press conference last Friday before they played Norwich, and he can be curt, he can be very blunt, and to be honest, a bit abrasive. But I've never heard him quite as abrasive as he was last week. He was a really difficult customer to interview, and I don't know, maybe he could foresee that performance come. He had a bad last training session on the field. Whatever it was, he was in a bad mood, and they performed badly. And I don't know, he wasn't that much better this Friday. They're going to need a response. Look, he doesn't like being questioned. Character against Shakhtar, put on a really good performance and scored some great goals. Mahrez looked magnificent. So I think they'll fancy themselves, and obviously Aguero's got that bit between his teeth. Can he get that sixth goal in a row, 6 consecutive games? What a record that would be for him.
Yeah, it certainly would. Well, that's all to come. What we have shorter term for you is the second half of Leicester against Spurs. That's coming right up. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Look down from the cradle of our hot air balloon. We wonder as a svelte ocean of stampeding gazelles gallop majestically earthbound towards a waterhole.
Somebody say a waterhole. Lovely. Mine's a pint. The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, Monday morning from 6 o'clock.
Your natural selection for the big game, bodacious banter and hookers. The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, Monday morning from 6 on Talk Sport. Masters of Drive Time Radio, Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
Drive, she said. I'll tell you when to stop.
Big names and big comments from the best in the business.
Gary Neville didn't need to step up the performances. I still think
Scattergun Sports Talk and explosive opinion.
James Carragher.
I'm talking to Gary Neville and Adrian Durham. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have known who to punch first.
Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
I love the smell of football in the afternoon.
Weekday afternoons from Sport.
Hello, Jim White here. Sorry, I've just nipped into the dentist for a quick checkup. What's that? Open wide? All right. But never mind that. Polish up your radio to lost names in football and filling your morning with the biggest and best stories I can get my teeth into.
Jim White, weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Can I rinse out now? Oh, sorry, I missed the sing there.
The Sports Bar with Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy on Talk Sport.
Join the cutthroat posse in the last chance saloon of sporting prowess.
Come and Navajo if you think
This is they send you crashing head first along the bar of sport.
It's the good, the bad, and the Cundy.
Get off your horse and drink your milk.
On the Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on Talk Sport.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast, Monday morning from 6 o'clock on Talk Sport. The cornerstone of any nutritious sports breakfast.
A morning delivery of big names and essential game talk, discreetly wrapped and violently lobbed over the fence onto your radio. The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast.
100% pure Scotch beef.
Monday morning from 6
on Talk Sport.
Driving home with Darren Goff and Durham, a sporting legend and an angry sports journalist who'll pick a fight with anyone.
Just really winds me up.
Link to Spurs at half-time. Mauricio Pochettino back early into his seat, looking fairly relaxed as he awaits the second half of this game. His goal came from a familiar source, Harry Kane. Season's tally to 5, 8 in 8 for club, 9 in 9 it is now for club and country this season. They're lined up waiting for Paul Tierney's signal. Jamie Vardy hands up the ball back into play for the second half. The first half was hugely entertaining. Plenty of attacking intent from both of these two upwardly mobile teams, one of whom will move second into the Premier. Underway for the second half. Can Leicester recover from their defeat at Old Trafford last weekend? Tottenham imperious in their victory in Champions League, although a useful point against Olympiacos, who are traditionally strong in front of their own Greek fans. Here's Harvey Barnes for Leicester City early on down the left hand side, looking to push and probe, no substitute, still shoots, and Alderweireld gets the ball away. It comes to Ndidi, who's urged to shoot by the fans, does so, and scrapes the ball a long way wide.
Well, you shouldn't be listening to the fans, but brilliant play here from Barnes on the left hand side, ducks inside, gets his shot off, ricochets out to Ndidi, a good 30 yards out, drags it horribly wide. Just got to keep the ball moving there, keep Tottenham under pressure.
Gabriel Jude, actually, I was asked Nigeria, and Gabriel points out why so many of us are listening from Nigeria. I guess the answer is there's a Nigerian playing, and that is, of course, Wilfred Ndidi. Me and David thought you were just listening to us, but
well,
clearly,
no, obviously not. And secondly, it's a huge country.
Yes,
and they also love their football.
They certainly do. And
but look at all the amazing players that have come from Nigeria.
Absolutely. Here's Son Heung-min.
I remember playing against Nigeria once, Kanu and the likes like that. Flicked the ball over my head, mate. Idiot. Yeah, that's the ability they had. Some of those players, absolutely wonderful.
There is also a Nigerian at Leicester who isn't playing, Kelechi Iheanacho as well. Alex Iwobi, of course, up at Everton these days. Stoppage, which will give me a chance to bring you the lineups in full. Leicester have Kasper Schmeichel in goal. A back four of Ricardo, Johnny Evans, Kagla Soyuncu and Ben Chilwell. Wilfred Ndidi, the Nigerian we've been talking about, is the shin midfield. He scored, or he thought he'd scored, the opening goal, but it was ruled out by VAR. Jose Perez, Yore Tielemans, James Maddison and Harvey Barnes in front of him, and then up front, of course, Jamie Vardy. For Tottenham Hotspur, Paulo Gazzaniga is in goal because Hugo Lloris is with his wife, who's expecting a baby. Vertonghen and Danny Rose across the back. Then it's Moussa Sissoko and Harry Winks shielding. Eric Lamela, Tanguy Ndombele and Son Heung-min. And up front, he got the game's only goal. It's his 12th goal in 9 Premier League games against Leicester City. They are simply sick of the sight of him.
I don't know what Gazzaniga was doing there. I mean, a long ball over the top. Jan Vertonghen actually was just saying to Gazzaniga, stay there, he'll run through to you. He comes flying out and just heads it clear out of his box. No need to do that.
Here is Kane down the left hand side, looking to provide Kagla Soyuncu, the 23-year-old former Freiburg player, sliced it away out of play. It's going to be a throw into Tottenham Hotspur side. Harry Kane leaves it for Danny Rose and then wanders to join Son in the penalty area. The throw is down the line towards Ndombele, who fouls Ricardo. That's going to be Leicester City, who've scored more goals against Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League than any other team. 44. They could do with a couple more in this half.
Well, the referee just saying to the Tottenham players, come on, hurry up, don't be wasting time this early. So just looking at Ndombele, this is a sign of how highly Pochettino rates Winks, is that Winks is obviously filling that midfield holding role, and they've shoved a £60 million man out wide on the left.
Yeah. Here's Harvey Barnes, tackled well by Toby Alderweireld. He makes the clearance upfield. It's a good tackle by Ndidi, who is having a good game. My Nigerian friends, who are a terrific game. Here's Chilwell, overlap for Leicester, early ball in, just in front of Vardy, only half cleared by Rose. It's going to come out to Perez on the far side. The Spaniard turns and looks to cross, it deflects off Kane, and then it's only half cleared again by Spurs. Ben Chilwell once more, who gets to the byline and cuts back and then tries to go round Sissoko again. Sissoko stuck to his guns well, and Ben Chilwell has won a corner for Leicester City, has he?
No, I don't think he did. I think the referee says it came back off him, and he tries to go around Sissoko's a big boy, so he's got to go very wide. If he goes around him, and he did. He got himself in a bit of a knot there, Chilwell. Could have just delivered the ball up.
Kick, not a corner, but Leicester pick up a loose ball in midfield by Spurs and come forward again. It's Ricardo. Tielemans can't control it, uncharacteristically for him, and it's brought away for Sissoko, who's fouled, rather Ndombele I should say, who's been fouled in centre midfield. Tottenham looking to win league games all the way back to January when they won at Craven Cottage against Fulham, who of course were subsequently relegated. It's a woeful league record for a team of, well, for any team, but for one of, it's totally unacceptable, isn't it?
Well,
really?
It is. If you're trying to get in, well, which they were in the top four, and then go even one better this season, you need to get that monkey off your back. And if they win here, they'll do that.
Chilwell chips it forward. There's a chase by valiantly well with his pace to get to the ball. Jamie Vardy. He's looking for support here. The cross, unfortunately for him, deflects. It's headed away by Harry Winks. A good header too to Lamela. Lamela cleverly lays it off to Ndombele. Ndombele stretches it. Ndombele's French colleague who picked up the ball and drifted infield from the right back position, but played a poor ball because had he got that ball on the money, Sonku hand side as it is. Spurs have lost possession. And Leicester are on the rampage again. Harvey Barnes, good ball. Tielemans low cross foot of his near post by Jan Vertonghen. And Leicester City fans are getting great encouragement from the way they've started the second half. But it's the same pattern as the first, isn't it? Both teams going hell for leather. Can't see this one finishing just by a single goal.
Good play there from Harvey Barnes. Terrific turn to get away from Aurier. He's actually struggled to deal with him going forward. He's had a bit of an indifferent game, hasn't he, Aurier? He's rested in midweek. I don't quite understand that. To be fresh for here, and he looks actually, hasn't he, a few times, poor deliveries into the box.
Here's the corner. James Maddison, in-swinger from him. Good header away. It was Eric Lamela, actually, who climbed and did really well to get the ball away. It's come through to... It's going to be allowed to roll out a play, I think, by Danny Rose. We've been talking a lot about Nigerians. Kofi Tawia Kansa says, I beg to differ. Ghanaians also listen to your commentaries via City. Ghanaians were listening. I was just saying we get a lot. I know we get a lot from Ghana, and your presence is equally important. I don't want to start a row. We're all friends in football, but fantastic, certainly delighted and grateful for it. Here's Aurier for Tottenham Hotspur. Swings it into the box. It wasn't far away from Lamela's outstretched leg. Just eluded it and went beyond him, and Tielemans gets the ball, and there's an offside decision as Vardy tried to control the ball. Spurs have taken the free kick quickly. No Christian Eriksen today, no Dele today, both under par in Europe and both on the bench. Here's Aurier, who was rested for that game in Greece, finding Son once again, quick feet, but no way past Chilwell at the playing keep ball at the moment. Musa Sissoko, and it's come all the way back to Toby Alderweireld. Nice ball forward to Aurier. Aurier's got forward a lot in this second half. Son turns.
He elected to shoot from outside the box. A little slip past to Sissoko would have been a better option.
Second half. Pochettino is standing arms folded on the field. 250th Premier League appearance for the Tottenham Hotspur boss, including his spell with Southampton. Finding Serge Aurier, who's got into a good position here, edge of the box, still has it. Aurier, he's got Kane just peeling away. Kane fires it in, it hits Chilwell, bounces back, doesn't make touch, so Tottenham will keep it. Aurier, now Kane! And there's a coming together between Kane and Soyuncu, which sees the ball bounce off Harry Kane and go behind for a Leicester City goal kick. Don't forget, we've got Manchester City against Watford coming up at 3 o'clock, followed by Newcastle United against Brighton and Hove Albion. Tottenham have lost the ball in midfield. Tielemans, save Gazaniga. Jamie Vardy looked for all the world as if he'd sent the ball fizzing into the corner of the net, but the left hand of Gazaniga managed to claw it away, and the goalkeeper, who made a mistake in the first half, produces an excellent save in the second.
Oh, he does produce a good save. He does great here, Gazaniga. Jamie Vardy was forced down onto his left side. Jan Vertonghen with a terrific block, actually, just does enough just to take the sting out of the shot. Just bounces up. Gazzaniga gets one hand to it, and Danny Rose just sweeps it out for a corner.
Well, that was a very, very good chance for Leicester to even up. Nobody at all would be surprised to see Vardy score in this fixture. Isn't done yet. Here's Maddison with the outswinging corner. Chilwell awaits. It's headed away again by Eric Lamela, who twice this half has produced good defensive headers, which is not necessarily his calling card. Ball back into the Tottenham box. Winks will acrobatically hook it away towards Son Heung-min, who flicks it forward towards Lamela. Spurs may fashion a break here. That's clever by Lamela. He's waited for the run of Harry Winks. Son Heung-min wants it played into the box. Here is Son now, and he's put it wide. Well, with goal at either end, Vardy for Leicester, and now Son for Tottenham going close. It was a wonderful counter-attack by Spurs. Brilliant work by both Lamela and Winks. Son knew exactly where he wanted the ball. Winks put it there. His shot across the face and wide.
Oh, what an opportunity for Son. A brilliant break, as you say. Lovely little play from Winks into Lamela. Back to Winks. Slots a perfectly weighted pass into Son. To be honest, I think couldn't quite set himself. His left foot shot just dragged wide. He'll be disappointed. He'll be really disappointed with that. I've seen Son numerous times just blast that into the bottom corner.
Scored in both games against Leicester City. Scored against them, and as you say, David, a man of his quality, has been brilliant this season.
Well, he's got the speed. I mean, he made that break up. He was probably the only player that could actually keep up with the likes of Winks. Then Derby, Nicolas Pepe, who they call Peep Peep, I think, after Roadrunner in French. He made a break in the 94th minute, and the only player who could keep up with him was Harry Winks.
Poor ball by Aurier, given away cheap. And that's a lovely ball. And suddenly Ricardo, the right fullback, has sprung forward and has played a ball down the line towards Jose Perez, challenged by Jan Vertonghen. And the Belgian, 30-year-old now, in his 8th season at Spurs, gets the ball out of play. Quickly taken throw. Clever turn by Perez. Ball has come back to Maddison. And now Wilfred Ndidi. Chilwell wants it played centre midfield, and Ndidi obliges. Peeling away down the left is Tielemans, countered by Aurier. Decent spell of possession this by Leicester, but they're not making too much forward headway at the moment. It's gone all the way back almost to halfway, and they'll start again with James Maddison. Flicked over the top. Maddison's there. Lovely control. Gets to the byline. Somehow keeps the ball in. It's clipped in towards Barnes. And he can't steer the header on target. It was a really good chance for Leicester. Brilliantly set up initially by Maddison, who somehow took the ball out of the air. The cross was flicked in by Ricardo, and Barnes, unmarked on the edge of the 6-yard box, should have done a lot better than he did with the header.
Yeah, he just put too much on it, but terrific control from James Maddison. I just wondered if that was Jamie Vardy. I'm trying to recall the goal he scored where the ball dropped over his shoulder and he volleyed it. And gone for goal, Maddison.
Well, it was a terrific piece of control. As we mentioned before, Gareth Southgate is watching today, and he'll have been impressed with what he's seen from James Maddison, who's shown some outstanding touches. One of this club who are making their mark on the Premier League this season, along with the likes of Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. As well, who we're told might start for Manchester United.
And you don't even mention Alexander Arnold anymore. I mean,
he's almost like an old stager now, isn't he? I think he's got nearly a Ricardo.
Brilliant recovery tackle.
Really well timed.
He's got it. He had to watch the ball closer there. Son was doing all the little tricks, step over. He was patient. He went to ground, had to get it right, had to time it right, and he did.
It's gone. Here's Vardy again for Leicester. He's pretty much on his own at the moment, but he's got support from Barnes. It's not the best ball by Vardy. Barnes, edge of the penalty area, still has it though, gets to the byline, clips it. It was a really dangerous ball, and it eluded absolutely everybody and ended up going away for a throw.
Oh, it's a really good break. Vardy keeps it alive. He tries to feed Barnes out wide, a little bit over here. Barnes is 1v1 up against Aurier. As I said, he's had a really difficult time. We said that Aurier doesn't block enough, but Vardy's just caught square. Did take a photo of him there, square on, flat-footed, not side on. running in towards goal. If he was, he might have gotten the end of that.
Here's Son Heung-min bursting away through midfield, half tackled, good tackle by Seon-chu. There's plenty of snap and crackle about this game now as it goes end to end. It's Leicester attacking with Chilwell edge of the penalty area, trying to get past, not able to do so, and it's going to be a corner kick. Ifu Mawator said, would choose your sumptuous commentary any day over it watching even in the stadium. Listening live on City FM in Ghana. I was just about to say thank you very much. Then he's looking up for a good game with my Citizens against Watford. Oh dear, no. You see, you plotted your copybook there now.
Ifo, he's a legend. Ifo the legend.
I do, as a Watford fan, I fear, Ifo, that you will be celebrating more later this afternoon. Here's a chip in, and a good one too, by Ricardo, but nobody in blue really reacted, and it allowed Gazaniga the chance to just step off this line and clutch the ball out. Abidek says, great work you're doing, even though your commentary is faster than my visuals here in Lagos, Nigeria. What does that mean? What are you doing over there?
There must be a delay.
And we may be ahead. Sometimes it takes the signal longer to go via a satellite for TV than it does down a landline for radio. I think that's the reason. I'm no expert, but I think that's probably to travel further to end up in your living room than my voice does. So apologies if I spoil everything before you see it. Here's Son Heung-min for Spurs. That's a very good tackle by Sergio. It comes out to Kane. Oh, Aurier with a chance. Aurier with a goal for Spurs. Harry Kane, the architect, this time with a clever cutback. Aurier took one touch into the box and he's drilled a lovely right foot shot emphatically into the corner of the net. Oh, now I've got the goal which sees them win the game. Leicester City 0, Spurs 2.
Oh, this is so clever from Harry Kane. What composure on the edge of the box. Normally, well, a striker in his form might have elected to take a pot shot on, just about stays onside. Sionku just gets back, great recovery tackle, tries to clear the box, it ends up at the feet of Kane. You think, right, go on then, take a shot. Even Sionku thought it was coming because he turned his back. Instead, he cut it back to there's Aurier, completely unmarked, took one touch to set himself and then laced it across goal, took a slight nick off Ben Chilwell, just to nestle in the bottom corner. Super strike, all the power, pace, just took it past Schmeichel's bottom hand corner.
His first since he scored a couple against Tranmere in the FA Cup. You may remember earlier in the season, we're just looking at earlier last season I should say in the Cup. I think he's onside. There is a Son, when he collected the ball, was offside, but we're looking at it here and I just cannot see how you can say he's not level there.
I mean, this dotted line.
I mean, we're being shown a graphic.
Is that in millimetres?
Well, those two players are level. And I mean, we're getting all kinds. It looks like a sort of one of those trick moments with lines all over the place. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what these dotted lines mean. I mean, to me, with my eyes, there's a red line across, and the two players are level, and that goal should stand because even Son is gaining no advantage whatsoever. This is where it all falls apart.
It's a bit of a chunky line as well.
It's millimetres. I mean, it's so marginal. I don't think you. That is utterly bizarre. Well. Words fail me, really. I mean, we're looking at could they, with any great clarity, that there was an offside there. So Aurier's goal has been ruled out. It's the second time AR has disallowed a goal today, and that one is a lot more controversial than the previous one. Meanwhile, Leicester have taken the opportunity to make a double substitution, which sees Mark Albrighton and the Belgian midfield player Dennis Praet come on. Praet, formerly of Anderlecht, and Tottenham Hotspur are also ringing the changes. Victor Wanyama is on. Sissoko. Well, if I was a Tottenham Hotspur supporter, even more so if I was Serge Aurier, I'd be absolutely gutted that goal hasn't been given, but it's been ruled out. A full 2.
Would that be another one in a month's time when they review it and say, we got that one wrong?
I mean, I can understand the first one. There are similar scenarios. Was he offside? Jose Perez is clearly offside. Anyone can see that. That one, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the rule is still that you have to be if you're level, you're onside. I don't, unless they've got some sort of electron micro.
Yeah, but that's the tolerance. That is the tolerance.
Millimetres there were. Then I don't see how anyone could possibly say, given that evidence, that Son Heung-min was offside.
No, I know, but that's the problem about the use of what amount of millimetres it constitutes. Being
I know, but
offside.
The problem is, I feel that when it reaches this level, you're reducing an entertainment, a sport, into a science.
And also, you can remember,
what you want.
This is not basketball.
No.
You don't score 100 points.
Yeah,
it's not 100 goals. It's a low-scoring game, football.
And who could possibly say that millimetre gave Son any kind of advantage all over Johnny Evans? It simply didn't. It can't have done. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be true of a 100-metre sprinter leaving the blocks, where a fraction makes the difference between winning and losing a race, but for me that is utterly absurd. But we'll be debating this all season, unfortunately.
That looked like if that was a race, that looked like a dead heat.
Yeah, exactly.
So it should have been a goal.
Absolutely right. Curious if they don't go on and win this one. Here's Vardy, ball towards Barnes, and a chance. They have scored, Leicester. It's Ricardo following up from the cross by Vardy to siphon into the net, and Tottenham's sense of frustration will have just doubled moments after seeing a goal controversially ruled out for VAR. They are pegged back as they concede again on the road. It's Ricardo. Tottenham Hotspur won with 20 minutes to go.
Well, it's a really poor pass from the substitute Wanyama. He gives the ball away. That's all Leicester need. They quickly counter-attack Maddison. Lovely ball into Barnes. Out wide. He's on the left, inside the box. Again, they get a little... It's a double nutmeg.
You'll remember which Leicester won 2-1 on Boxing Day. He doesn't get too many, but he gets them in big games, doesn't he, the Portuguese forward?
Yes, I really like him.
Game on now. Son Heung-min for Spurs. One each with 20 minutes. Here's Aurier, trying to make amends for the fact that he saw a lovely finish chalked out. It's a shame for a player who doesn't get many goals either, because it was a wonderful strike. But we're in for a grandstand finish in what's been an absolutely cracking game, has to be said. You'll remember which Leicester won 2-1 on Boxing Day. Laid the ball rather strangely across midfield, but Tottenham have lost it. There's a foul there by Wanyama, who's just come on, and he's just going to pick up a yellow card immediately.
That's ironic, because I got a feeling that Potter's taken off Sissoko because he's been booked and they don't want to risk anything.
He might be right.
And Wanyama's on the pitch 1 minute later and he's booked already. So I don't understand why he's taken off Sissoko. I thought he was doing a decent job for the team, and Wanyama's looked really rusty.
Field by Tielemans. It's the Leicester fans now who are maybe feeling that the wind is in their sails as the ball is knocked into the box towards Vardy. Vardy does well though for Mark Albrighton, and it might come out to Harry Kane. Solid challenge there by Johnny Evans. Really good tackle right on the halfway line. That's fired up the Leicester. Amazing.
You can hear the fans. Go on, Johnny.
Yeah, you can. Great tackle.
Go, Johnny, go. He hacked off.
Yeah, no, it was well timed. Right in front of the dugouts. Well, what a game we have now. Can either of these two teams go on and win it? If they do, they'll be second in the Premier League for a few hours at least before Manchester City's game. And here's a chance for Vardy. Can't sort his feet out, does in the end. And with his right foot puts just that moment of not quite hesitation, but just inability to get the ball where he wanted it that thwarted him there.
But what a pass from Maddison. I mean, he's able to pick out a gap like a 4-5, but to be honest, his first touch just kills the opportunity. A better first one there. He was away. The Tongan Alderweireld not getting near him. Again though, Maddison, the orchestrator, the architect.
Yeah, he's been terrific. Ball forward towards Kane. Chilwell gets there first and just finds Johnny Evans. Evans chips it forward with his right foot, but it's headed away by Spurs for a corner. Jamie Vardy's had a couple of chances in this. He's saved by Gazzaniga, one wide to improve his impressive goal tally against Tottenham Hotspur. Harry Kane has already improved his excellent tally against Leicester, but at the moment they're heading for a point apiece, which would keep Manchester City in second place ahead of the visit of Watford, which will be featuring at 3 o'clock. With Lawrence, Russell Huggins has asked me to point out that he makes an excellent cup of tea. Made one for me the other day and it was very, very impressive. Here's Johnny Evans with the header away up towards Ndombele. It's loose here and Vardy will trot them at the moment, certainly, but there's plenty of time.
Well, they do all that good work, win the ball back, and then a simple throw. Ricardo Pereira into Maddison, he just side foots it straight out of play. That man Ericsson warming up. I'm sure we'll see.
Yeah, he's previous sub appearance this season against Villa turned out to be a very Spurs and ended up winning 3-1, and Ericsson had a big hand in that. Here's Aurier. What must he be feeling? One minute he thinks he scored a screamer to put them 2-0 up, and the next minute he's watching it fall out of the net for 1-1. Here's Maddison finding a quarter of an hour to go. Ed Ofusu Walker Jr. says, I'm listening from Oyarifa, Ghana with my girlfriend. That's a controversy about the VAR, not your girlfriend. I agree.
I wouldn't listen with my girlfriend, would you?
No. With my girlfriend. Here's goal scorer Ricardo for Leicester. He's misplaced that pass. He was trying.
Ericsson there. I mean, I don't know what the Tottenham fans listening out there think or feel, but I guess if anyone had said to them Christian Eriksen will be on the bench and Eric Lamela will be ahead of him in the Tottenham side, expecting the likes of Rose and the Tongan all the very well more regularly, and Ericsson, but you know, he's sometimes I don't get him, he's so stubborn, isn't he?
Here's Lamela, now Son.
But
yes,
he hasn't so far today.
No, and they'll be hoping that it stays within him. Leicester City way. I mean, it looked as if it was casual, but it wasn't entirely convincing. It did its job. It's got the ball clear. Wanyama Rose drifts across towards Aurier, but Chilwell gets there first. And not there. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, he could have got there a bit earlier, couldn't he, Aurier? You could have actually got on the end of that. When one fullback's delivering, this is the problem playing a diamond. Your fullbacks have got to get up because there's no wingers. So if one fullback's delivering, the other one should be in the box. And Aurier was caught on his heels there. I mean, look where he scored the goal from. Well,
the game in so many other respects. Here's Son finding Aurier. It's in a great ball. It's Schmeichel with a claw and then thumped away by Evans. Excellent play by Son. Schmeichel did all he could there. He had to get something on it, which he did, and Evans was alert. But here come Tottenham again. Kick doesn't make any contact, and again Leicester clear, but suddenly it's Tottenham's turn to ask some of the questions.
Well, it's super play here from Son, receives it on the edge of the box, lovely little lift over at Tielemans, then he kind of comes shot along the 6 yard, but Schmeichel gets a hand. Who's that man there? Johnny Evans sweeping up. He's had a great game, Johnny Evans.
Yes, he has indeed. We were talking about Christian Eriksen. The go at all the time, week in, week out. That's a correct decision by Paul Tierney. He was actually had quite a good game, the referee, because decisions were taken out of his hands by VAR. Here's Eriksen, who's on. Well, we know what he can do from set pieces. It's over on the right-hand side of the field, left penalty area. Kasper Schmeichel concentrates at his near post. There's a two-man Leicester City wall behind that spray of foam. Eriksen's first contribution, he hoped to create a goal to put Tottenham back in front as we enter the final 10 minutes.
That's good delivery, Eriksen.
Yes. Can he produce it here? Flicks it in, no, is the answer. It was headed away easily by Prayet, the substitute, and suddenly Jamie Vardy's on his way. He's all on his own. He's got away from one Spurs man. No, he hasn't. It was a good tackle actually in midfield by Ndombele. Here's Eriksen again, just steers it back to Paulo Gazzaniga, who's had a mixed afternoon for Tottenham Hotspur. Father. Here's Harry Winks for Spurs. 9 minutes left at the King Power Stadium. It's been a really, really good, entertaining game. Quite as many goals as we often get in. A great watch. Here's Eriksen. Clever ball. Out wide to Danny Rose. Danny Rose steadies himself. Plays the cross in. Eriksen's there. He doesn't make any contact. Aurier does! and after lashing the ball into the net, has now lashed one wide with his right foot. It wasn't the best finish, and it went way across the face of goal, and in the end was about 10 yards wide on the far side.
Well, it's from a similar sort of position, wasn't it? Took one touch to set himself. This time he drags it a couple of yards wide of the post, the far post.
Hamza Chowdhury will stay on the bench. Demarai Gray, the England under-21 international, who's got pace and not a prolific goal scorer, but one who can find a goal here and there. Kane shoots. Schmeichel bats it down and was fortunate that Soyuncu in front of him. Kane with his left foot fired it goalward. Schmeichel should have held it, didn't. Proved costly for Leicester City. Gray gets his first touch and is immediately fouled, and in a fashion which suggests that there might be a card here from Paul Tierney, who's walking across to the Demarai Gray.
Wrap his left foot around it, direct it back across goal. It's got to be something special to beat Schmeichel. Instead it was straight at him.
Demarai Gray becomes the second player in this match to be booked almost immediately after coming on. We saw Victor Wanyama as one unnecessary one by Gray. Here's finding Christian Eriksen, and now Son Heung-min. Aurier, Kane tries to flick it with his back heel across towards Ndombele. It didn't reach him. Maddison is fouled by Eriksen. Free kick to Leicester City. You just get the feeling there might be one final twist to the tail here. Not sure by whom or for whom, but it's the sort of game where you suspect the attacking momentum is going to continue right to the death. We're going to get another Leicester City substitution. Hamza Chowdhury is on. That familiar lustrous haircut of his.
Is it cut? That's the problem. It's not.
It was not cut. No, style.
Yes,
hairstyle. I should say. I do like it. I like Tahith Chong as well, Man United. You ask any commentator, any player with just hair that stands out, it's always, here he is. So you don't need to even look, you know who he is on the ball there. He's got bright yellow boots, which helps as well. Top man, well done. Hamza Chowdhury plays a square ball to James Maddison. Maddison shoots! Oh, what a goal! James Maddison, who's been outstanding today, has produced an outstanding finish into the corner of the net from 25 yards. City, from being a goal down, are very, very close to winning this one now. 5 minutes left. It's Leicester 2, Tottenham 1.
Well, Maddison here with an absolutely thunderous hit. It's terrific play. Thoroughly deserved that man, Maddison. From the first whistle, he's been superb. Chilwell just with a lofted ball. It's headed down by Alderweireld right into the path of Chowdhury. He then sets Maddison. He's middle of the goal. Takes one touch to set himself. Another one just to knock it out of his feet. And he bends it to the far post and then really cleverly reverses it back towards the net. Outfoxes the goalkeeper and Gazaniga in the Tottenham goal. Absolutely superb strike from about 25 yards out. Just bounces right. Rodgers is delighted.
So are the Leicester City fans in the bright sunshine in the East Midlands. Tottenham Hotspur's away day woes. Are they going to get even worse? This would be a 9th Premier League away game without a win. Worse still, they're not even going to take a point home as it stands. James Maddison, I said he was very close to clinching a win for Leicester City. With Gareth Southgate watching, given this performance, I think he's pretty close to getting an England debut now.
Well, to be honest, he should have had a debut anyway. In the last international break, I was really surprised. He certainly didn't come on, start a game.
It's his first Premier League goal in 11 games, actually, Maddison. He's scored in the League Cup. He's on the ball now. He's trying to set up Vardy. If they get another one, Leicester, that'll finish Spurs off. What have Tottenham got left in the final plus stoppage time? There's a Leicester player stricken in the centre of the field, but Tottenham haven't put the ball out of play. They don't have to, of course, until the referee tells them to, and he hasn't, so they're perfectly within their rights to carry on. Here's Aurier, despite the boos of the Leicester City fans. Well, I said there might be a twist at the end of this one. James Maddison has certainly given us that, but it's he who's injured, and that is worrying for club and country. We've been praising him, saying how close he is potentially to an England call-up, but having scored the goal He seems to have injured himself in a very innocuous fashion.
He was
knocking the ball forward. Yes, there was no challenge. That's why we didn't spot it at the time. We just saw him lying in the centre circle. He's getting treatment now. All he was doing with his left foot was trying to clip the ball forward. I don't know if he's got his stud stuck in the turf or he's turned it.
I think he passed with his right foot. And
just as he was beginning to emerge as a young midfield talent in the Premier League,
Maddison was going to bend it into the far corner, and that's where he looked, Maddison, really cleverly, then reversed it and went to the near post.
Well, he's hobbling off, but he is on his feet. He's walking, albeit gingerly. They've got all three subs on Leicester, so I think they're probably going to have to continue for the remainder of this with 10 men. I can't see Maddison coming back on. I'm not entirely sure it would be sensible for him to come back on. Meanwhile, his teammates have to defend a kick which Christian Eriksen is going to take for Tottenham Hotspur. We're into the last minute of the 90. Eriksen headed away by Soyuncu. Powerful, good header too by the Turk. He's had a terrific afternoon. And Maddison is back on, but I don't think he's moving properly still. Here's Eriksen right for Tottenham Hotspur. Swirls the because that VAR decision.
They want to get in motion.
Well, if I was a Leicester fan, I'd be getting the ball back because the referee's just going to add on more time, isn't he?
He's got it now.
Eriksen has spotted the ball up for the corner. It's only Tottenham's second of the header, not taken. It seemed to brush off the forehead. I think it might have been Vertonghen. It's come back out to Eriksen. Johnny Evans is there this time, and Kasper Schmeichel comes out and says that's mine and plucks the ball out of the air and falls to the ground. 6 minutes to be added on at the King Power Stadium in a game you don't really want to end as a neutral, do you? It's been a fantastic match. It really has been a good watch.
Excellent, some terrific play. A lot of technicians on this pitch today.
Yes.
Players who really come spin.
It's usually a good game when these two meet, isn't it? To be fair,
they've had their moments, haven't they?
Yeah,
both sides.
They've served up an excellent lunchtime feast for us. We've got plenty more of it to come, of course. The next two help at Manchester City.
And look where that takes them if they can see this out.
They'll be second in the table, albeit with City waiting to play Brighton in the late tea time kick-off today. Here's Lucas Moura, who sneaked on as a substitute without much of us noticing while Maddison was getting all that trade. Gray with a strong run through midfield for Leicester City. He's almost run back into trouble though, and he finds Evans who's just been so calm and composed at the back. The ball over the top towards Vardy. Control back to Gazzaniga. We've had a minute and a half of the 6 to be added on. Long hopeful ball by the goalkeeper, but it's back with his opposite number, Kasper Schmeichel here. Clips it away towards Ben Chilwell, but he's put it straight out of play, Schmeichel. Tottenham have a throw in. They will stay fifth, but could well be overtaken by the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham, or even the likes of Palace and Everton this weekend if they continue this desperately poor away form. Could be 2 last 9 Premier League away games. I mean, you'd be struggling to make the top 6 with that sort of form. Never mind the title, never mind the Champions League. Here's a lovely goal actually against Olympiacos, and at that point you felt the job was done for Spurs, but yet again, David, they've let a lead slip.
Yeah, they have. But they're up against a good side here.
Yeah.
A really well.
Soyuncu.
With this man
forward for Vardy to chase. Vardy's knocked the ball with a rather ungainly first touch, which bounced off his knee. Maddison is still hobbling, but he's on there simply to make up numbers. He can't do an awful lot else. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Leicester City 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1 in a thriller at the King Power on Premier League Live. Thanks for all your tweets. Sorry we haven't been able to keep up with them. There's been so much going on, but it's very gratifying to get so many complimentary tweets, and I know how much the Premier League means to everyone worldwide, and this has been a real credit to it, this match.
Oh, he just can't move, Maddison. Look, that was a simple pass into him.
Here's Winks.
He might be better off taking him off. He doesn't want to do any long-term damage.
No, I agree. Here's Aurier for Spurs. We're into the realms of last chance saloon for them now. Winks finding Aurier. Aurier, clever ball. Chance for Eriksen if he can get it right. Great cover by Wilfred Ndidi, which our Nigerian friends will have enjoyed. He's another who's had an excellent game today. Christian Eriksen takes the throw and then gets it back and plays a short ball into Vertonghen, back by Soyuncu. Here come Tottenham again though with Rose, dreadful pass. Son, quick as he is, isn't going to keep that in, and the Tottenham Hotspur fans sink to their knees in despair as egging, and the clock ticks down. We've got less than 2 minutes left. Leicester fans sorry?
Don't you, John, that VAR decision? Well, it has turned the game. It really has. And there was nothing, and it's a terrible decision.
I agree. I actually think it's a decision that really goes against the spirit of the game,
which is why I'm not a fan of VAR.
Well, I am in a sense, but I mean, I like the idea that VAR can decide. I mean, Jose Perez was clearly offside, and the Leicester goal in the first half clearly should not have stood. But you know, when we get into the realms of measuring things scientifically with the Hubble Space Telescope or whatever it takes of scientific nature to determine whether you're a billionth of a millimetre offside, I lose interest. It's absurd, frankly. I think you have to say we'll stick, like in cricket, we'll stay with the umpire's decision, you know, the referee's decision, because we don't know. So we'll go with what the ref has said. I think that gives the referee a sense of entitlement as well, because, you know, everyone's now saying, oh, the referee's got it wrong. Well, he hasn't got it wrong until you could possibly... I mean, we've looked at it 50 times and we still don't know. So you can't expect a referee to see it with his naked eye. Anyway, we're very, very close till there. They thought the game had finished. It hasn't. But it will in just a moment. And Brendan Rodgers takes a swig from his bottle of water after another excellent performance by his team, one which will take them into second place. 3 wins, 2 draws and just the 1 defeat at Manchester United last week for Leicester. They've got 11 points from 6 games. Kasper Schmeichel is not going to hurry to take this goal. And Leicester City have beaten Tottenham Hotspur for only the second time in 8 home games in the Premier League. Spurs' away form dismal. They haven't won in 9 now. They've only taken 2 points in that time. Harry Kane put them in front with a strange improvised goal in the first half. There was then VAR controversy as Serge Aurier's goal was disallowed 2-0. Ricardo then equalised for Leicester before James Maddison scored an absolutely brilliant winner for Brendan Rodgers' side. What a game at the King Power. Leicester City 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1 to Premier League Live. That's a lovely ball by Spurs in towards Son, who's in form, trying to find Kane. Kane stumbled from on the deck, manages to swing his boot to scoop the ball into the net. Comes out to Kane, clever ball. Aurier with a chance. Aurier with a goal for Spurs. To me, Son is level with the last.
They can go top of the
Beautiful
Bundesliga
early
by beating
autumn.
Augsburg. Alexei, yes, top of the Bundesliga.
Amazing, huh? 3rd versus 14th. You mentioned Freiburg, best start ever. Who am I at 3-0? Now, there has never been a scoreless draw between these two teams, so I'm guaranteeing goals in this game. And where are goals going to come from? You mentioned Niels Peterson, Horn over there. There's 2 goals there, so lots of goals and opportunities to score goals today.
Great to see Finn Bogg is in back.
Yeah, he is.
Well, this is bottom of table clash. Last place Hertha Berlin, newly promoted Paderborn, last against 17th.
The bench panic station now for Hertha. They must win this game. Otherwise, I do believe, and I think you're the same, Ian, the coach will get fired because it hasn't been a good start. They've gone in with a coach that's young, inexperienced. Now he's shuffling the pack. Now he's getting desperate. And if they don't beat this team, then he deserves to get the sack because they need to win.
I always question it when you put your experienced players on the bench. Kulu on the bench, Ibisevic on the bench, Luka Bacchio, big signing, on the bench. Let's go to Leverkusen, who square off against...
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, we mentioned Kai Havertz and the importance he has in this team. This Leverkusen team loves to have the ball. You mentioned coaches that are possibly on the hot seat. I don't know, in a bunch with the possession, but that's going to translate into something. Union, by the way, 78.5 total miles they ran in that wonderful game that they won against Dortmund. So they got engines on them. They're going to need them today, running around chasing that ball as Leverkusen has.
RNF is one headline up there to Bayern Munich. Massive match coming up for Bayern at home in front of their own supporters. It's Oktoberfest, but will it be a celebration for the home side? this one. Cologne already saying they're going to have a celebration at Oktoberfest after this match, regardless of the result. Warren Barton, what
A comfortable home win for Bayern Munich. Lexi, I'll leave it to you, my friend.
Both? No. Bayern Munich come into today's clash with Cologne in 5th place in the standings. Draws with Hertha and Leipzig mean points-wise, Jovan, it's the worst Bundesliga start since 2004 to midweek in Champions League. They're finding a rhythm, and they come in off that big win against Red Star.
Well, there's still quality there in that Bayern Munich team. The likes of Lewandowski, Coutinho's a terrific signing. They're going to create, they're going to score goals. Today, as I agree with the guys in the studio, this could be a big, big win for Bayern. Horn's going to have a huge day for Cologne.
Just one win on the season. That was on the travels at Freiburg. 2 straight losses at home. Have them down in the bottom half of the standings. Saying you can't just sit back against Bayern, you have to have a go. We'll see if that's the case over the course of 90 minutes today. It is Bayern Munich who kick things off, attacking from right to left. Tolisso getting a first touch, and he won the highest percentages of challenges against RB Leipzig in his return. Tolisso in possession, and go all the way back to Manuel Neuer. Jovan, when you're an away team in the Bundesliga at Bayern, it can be difficult. What do you want to see from Cologne over 15 minutes here to just make sure that they're in this game moving forward?
They need to be difficult to play against, need to be compact. I know Bayer Lutzer, he wants to be somewhat positive, but naturally Bayern's going to have most of the possession. You need to be calm to have the day of his life for them to get a result here, because there's going to be chances. Bayern's going to create.
Used more as a left-sided player at Liverpool, but he's not central to that. Gnabry, the run forward, and that one flashing through. Robert Lewandowski almost getting it to Pavard, wanting the corner kick.
Pavard came in late there, overlapping from that right-back position. He comes in, he has space, he drives this across, trying to find that far post. I think it was more of a shot than a cross for Lewandowski.
He's away. Nice bit of skill from him to get away from Perisic. Still has it, the fullback. Just going back to Akim Bayalodge's comments of wanting to be more attack-minded. Sometimes easier said than done against this Bayern side who just flood numbers forward.
They'll have their chances in transition with Cordoba up top. He has pace. Can't score a goal last season in the Zweite Bundesliga. He scored 20 goals. But again, there's going to be a limited amount of chances.
Kimmich, Lewandowski making the run for the forward. Robert Lewandowski, that one takes a deflection. It's still gone through, and Bayern had the perfect start. And that didn't take too long, did it?
Well, we spoke about the quality
break the other way. And that's what Cordoba was brought in to do, just to utilise Zula, who instead that now two Bayern players down on the ground.
Cordoba showing his frustration. Caught in the face by an elbow, looks like. But not too much in it here. Looks like he goes down on his own. I can see why the frustration from Cordoba. Maybe afterwards.
Yep. Last win for Cologne against Bayern Munich back in 2000.
Cologne, they're trying to play a high line. They're pressing. They're pushing people forward.
Does it change the game plan, the early goal, or is it simply thread that one through? But Iver Kaiserslautern just one off the record for number of goals in the first 5 games now. That record held by Peter Meyer with 9 goals. Gnabry, Perisic, and the offside flag belatedly going up against the Croatian international.
You see those outside backs, each side, or Hernandez. Every time the wide player has it, they're bombing on, trying to create.
Again, we see in this central midfield, Hisabwe. Who's inside, gets it back, and Hisabwe inside the area. Nice bit of approach play involving Ian Schindler.
Cologne establishing some possession. Hisabwe for Cologne, they need to take advantage of every set piece they get.
Just trying to turn away from Bernal. The Allianz Arena absolutely bouncing. It's almost as if some party is starting.
I'm sure Cologne as well.
Maybe not so much after that early goal. Some fluids might help you forget. Kimmich had more touches than anybody else. Leipzig, it was a very strong first half performance. Conceded the penalty and then allowed Leipzig to get a point in a game where Bayern, over the balance of play, Schalke's Schalke joining Leipzig on 10. You have Dortmund on 9 with Freiburg, the surprise team so far. And then it's Bayern. A strong challenge, and well, the contact from Schindler came a little bit late. I think there was any intention from the winger. What are your thoughts on Kimmich as a central midfielder?
I think he's a fantastic talent, such a versatile out. When he plays right back, one of the best there is in the Bundesliga, comes in midfield. He has so much awareness when he has the ball. Just a great soccer brain. I think he's a terrific player. Didn't miss a beat. He just came in there. spot. Try to get it up and over that wall.
You're going to have to fight.